Welcome to Echo Trade. It's Jeff Roth, and we're here with Justin Carbonneau from Validea Capital Management, and we're here to talk about the firm Validea and his team and their background and kind of what their core competencies are. So we're stoked to have you guys on the platform. You know, we guys got 5 portfolios on the platform. You know, very thematic, all performing very well, and we're excited for the partnership. So thanks for being here, Justin.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it.
So I want to dive into your background. You know, first off and foremost, you know, kind of tell us kind of, you know, what you've been doing. You know, kind of your history. You know, I know you have kind of a, you know, you've served in the National Guard. You know, you were a college athlete, and you've been, you know, with Validea for quite a while now, and you're host of the, you know, Excess podcast Return. So really cool background, you know, of yourself, and then the rest of your team. So I guess start with yourself, and I kind of touched on a few things, but kind of, you know, let us know kind of, you know, what your experience looks like, and kind of, you know, how you came about to be a part of Validea.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So I graduated from the University of Connecticut while I was at UConn. I met my 2 partners and a few other guys that worked at Validea. There was kind of a Validea 1.0, which was during the .com boom and bust period. But then some of the technology that was developed during that period, which actually had patents on it, reverted back to my partner, John Reese, who I'm still involved with today. And from there, we launched what was a successful investment research company that's still in existence today. And then in 2005, we started managing actual money using the initial set of quantitative strategies that we built at Validea. And what we are known for, although it's expanded over the years, is we study and extract the fundamental investment methodologies from books and academic papers written by or about famous investors. That's where it initially started. So think Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, Benjamin Graham. They all outline fundamentally based methodologies that we put into computer code and program. And then we built an investing system and portfolio management process on top of those various stock selection strategies. And over the years, that's expanded into 45 distinct models. So we cover all major investment factors now: low volatility, high quality, momentum. And, you know, we've identified a lot of other strategies beyond just the models based on Buffett and Lynch that are have long-term back tests behind them. They're sound, fundamentally based strategies. When we find something like that, we want to put it in the Validea system. We want to track it, and then we want to try to utilize that, because the more good inputs you have, the more hopefully the better outcome's going to be on the back end. And you know what? So what we're doing here, you know, you made this point earlier when we were talking. You know, we're not creating really any of our own actual stock selection strategies. We're not reinventing the wheel here. I mean, what we do is we capture them programmatically, and then the way that we slice and dice it, we rank stocks, we combine different strategies, all that is proprietary to Validea. But, you know, if you were to go to read Peter Lynch's One Up on Wall Street and read about his growth at a reasonable price strategy, the strategy that Validea Capital tracks is going to map exactly to how how Lynch outlined that strategy in his book. So that's what sort of we do here. That's the system we've built. I've been working with my partners for it's coming up on 20 years, amazingly. And so we're sort of long-term, you know, we're long-term investors. We're very disciplined with what we do. And, you know, we hope to get the right certain types of clients, certain types of investors are attracted to our style of investing.
Yeah, no, I love it. We talked about it, you know, kind of your philosophy, your guys's, you know, process. It's genius, because, you know, at the end of the day, you don't have to be geniuses yourself, even though, you know, you got the MIT grad on the team, you know, but you're just creating and leveraging not just a Peter Lynch, not just a Berkshire Hathaway, not just a Dalio. You're utilizing all of these different strategies and expertise from all of these people to kind of, you know, have an aggregate of all of their, you know, kind of best ideas that funnel into what you guys actually put into the portfolios of Validea. Can you talk really quickly about the rest of the team, about Jack and John?
Yeah, so John is the founder of Validea. Actually, Jack and John are both co-founders of Validea Capital, but John's background is, and John's a little bit older than us, but when he was at MIT, he was involved in a study where he was trying to create artificial intelligence models based on books and academic papers. And that's where that kind of came full circle to John with the founding of Validea back in the late 90s and early 2000s. So that MIT experience that he had sort of played a role in trying to capture strategies like this sort of quantitatively. And then Jack and I both went to UConn together. Jack is what I would call our CIO, sort of the architect of our investing system. He has his CFA and also his CFP. And so, Jack and I, you had mentioned this before, I think, but we do co-host the Excess Returns Investing podcast, which is a growing podcast where Jack and I talk to others in the industry. Sometimes we talk amongst ourselves, but usually we're interviewing other investors and trying to learn and educate investors as we learn along the way. So investing is all about, the one thing with investing in the markets is there's always something to learn. It's never, there's always something new to learn. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So you touched on it a second ago in terms of, kind of your thought process and your investment process, is attractive to certain kinds of investors. And obviously Echo Trade is a completely different environment where investors can kind of get a different sort of access, and not have to have, certain capital requirements and kind of get access in a different wrapper, in a digital kind of wrapper. But what does your kind of existing client base look like? And then what kind of investors are attracted to the Validea type of portfolio?
Yeah, I mean, our client base is pretty diverse. I mean, it does range, but I would say just generally speaking, it tends to be, we manage money we have minimums and things like that. So it tends to be a little bit more high net worth, investors that are a little bit more established, I think, with their investments. And, some of that wealth comes from people that had businesses that sold. Some of it just comes through discipline, investing in 401k plans over one's career. Some of our younger clients, there's inheritance that might come in, or trust in some cases. So, but I would say in general, sometimes people come to us because they're referred to us, but if somebody's coming in through the front door, through the Validea Capital website, they've probably been exposed to us through content in one way, shape, or form. Either they've read one of my articles, they've used the Validea investing research site, they saw us on the podcast, and something, got them interested enough to say, okay, let me reach out and talk to these guys and see what we can do. One of the things, and I know we're not doing this on Echo Trade, but we do try to understand, people's goals and what their objectives are. And, that's important because on Echo Trade, we're running, very focused, concentrated 10 stock portfolios, because someone's putting potentially a small amount of their capital, in one or many of the strategies on your platform. We might manage 100% of someone's retirement money. So we need to be careful that we're taking advantage of all the different strategies we run, not only on the stock side, but maybe some more diversified strategies. And that's sort of what we do at Validea Capital. I know that's kind of getting off track with what's going on at Echo Trade, but that's sort of how the Validea Capital, I guess, product lineup is.
Yeah, again, but it's a different environment, right? So like you said, you have your minimum capital requirements because it doesn't pencil out. That's just kind of the nature of the industry, and for no fault of anybody's own, that's the nature of everybody on our platform. But this is, I love that you guys are partnering with us. That Echo Trade investors can get access where they may not have been able to get access before, or get introduced to you where they might not be able to be introduced to you before, through the Echo Trade environment. So again, we're thrilled with the partnership, the expertise that you guys are bringing to the table and the portfolios that you guys are offering to Echo Trade investors, and hope for many years to come. Thanks for the partnership. Thanks for taking the time, Justin.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Appreciate it.